Welcome back to the Morning Blend. We think of baby boomers and millennials as being on the opposite sides of the generation spectrum, but there's one thing they both can agree on.
Houseplants.
Yep.
That's right. Gardening expert Melinda Myers is back with this new gardening obsession. You know me, I talk to my plants, I name them all. I love it. I love houseplants. So I think a lot of people love them, and we recognize the benefits too.
You bet. They clean the air. NASA did some research and found that houseplants take a lot of the toxins out of the air. They reduce our stress. So if you have a busy day at work, talking to your houseplants, they don't talk back, but they give you a lot of pleasure, and it lowers our blood pressure, elevates our mood, and it brings us a lot of joy. And for many of us, for me, I started growing them in the late 70s. This is how I got into horticulture, was growing plants. So I had the jungle that we hear about the millennials having, and I joke for people my age, macrame hangers are back.
Yes, I've seen them.
Sweet.
Yeah, especially in like lofts with brick and all that. You see like all the macrame hangers in the corners. It's really cool.
So here's the thing. The benefits are obvious.
Right.
It explains why it's an obsession. They look fantastic too, especially if you find fun ones. I think the challenge is finding ones that not just look cool, but ones that you can truly sustain fairly easily.
Yes, they'll
And
thrive.
I think a lot of people who've grown houseplants and maybe failed gave up. And part of it is matching the plant to the growing conditions. So, Tiffany, you were just putting your hand on that. That's a ZZ plant. And you'll see this in hotels, lobbies, and airports. Low light, it doesn't need a lot of water, and it's beautiful. So it's a low maintenance, easy care plant. And so that's a good one.
Now, what was in front of her, which we also showed, was an orchid.
An orchid.
Right, and that's a moth orchid. And believe it or not, they're pretty easy to grow. So bright light. Water them a good soaking once a week. Don't let them sit in the water. They'll bloom for a couple months, and then do I need to watch her? Then if you want to rebloom it, you just cut back, either leave the flowering stem intact, cut it back halfway or an inch above the leaves and wait. Or you find someone else who likes to tend plants, and then you buy a new orchid with a new flower.
They'll last forever, and they're low maintenance. I've actually had success with orchids.
Oh, and you know, they have a bad rep for being high maintenance, but they're easy and they're so beautiful. It's
I've killed two. So
I'm
really good at the green plants. The flowering ones I'm not so good at. So I do have a question about this guy right here, because I think a lot of people have plants that look, it's not an ivy?
It's a pothos, and very similar to a philodendron. And this one's called neon, and so it's a little brighter green. So even these old-fashioned varieties like pothos and philodendron, there's new cultivars that add a little, you know, zing to it.
How do you keep it full on top though? Because what I'm finding is I get a lot of long vines, and then all the blooms are at the bottom of the leaves.
So as it grows long and you have that long leafless stem, you'll find a place where the leaf was attached here, and there'll be a mark. Thank you. There'll be a mark on the stem where that leaf was, and you're going to pinch right beyond that. So you'll do that close to the stem. I need my pruners actually.
Okay.
And then what's going to happen is you'll get new growth coming out here.
Oh, so see that? So it's right here that this leaf is still there, and you did it right there. So as close as you can to the top?
Right, yes. And even if there wasn't a leaf there, that's called the node. That's where new growth occurs. And then if you have pieces, you can cut them in that have leaves. You can root these and start new plants.
Gotcha.
And plant them together in another pot.
Okay.
Now, I did not say this to all of our guests, but I would wish that you were my neighbor.
Okay, and I would love to hang out and be your neighbor.
Yes.
Because I would love to be able to ask you about different areas in my yard where I could put flowers that I like, and inside, because I think people often just need a few tips, you know?
You bet. And here's a good thing to know. In the winter, the south window has the most light. Think about where the sun is. So moving your house plants there for the winter is a good idea. East and west windows are good for most plants during most of the year, but especially during the summer. Succulents like it really good and bright.
I was going to ask you about, because I love this. Is this a zebra?
It's called a Kawar Thea. It looks like a zebra. Isn't that cool? And they have small root systems, but they need good bright light, and that's often limiting for many people. So
look at the pot that one's in. It's actually really cool.
Isn't it fun? So artificial lights are really a lot of fun to help you with that collection, or put those in your window, a west window, an east window, directly in the south, especially in the winter. And then the pothos we mentioned is a good low light, low maintenance plant. In front of you, in front of the orchid, the one with the white flowers, that's an anthurium. And those have heart-shaped leaves, so they're fun for Valentine's Day. Bright, indirect light. I have one at home that's just finishing blooming from last Valentine's Day, a year ago.
If people are wondering as they look through houseplants and they're going to go to buy them at whatever their local nursery or whatever store they visit, are they usually marked what's good for low light, good light, low maintenance, high maintenance?
Sometimes they are. Check the staff. That's where an independent garden center sometimes can be more helpful, because some of the tags just say green plant and it doesn't give you a lot of advice. It doesn't tell you the name of it.
Okay.
And so that's a good thing to do too. And so, yeah, check the tag, ask the staff. If you're not getting the information, there's good sites, including mine, that'll give you some good information too. But give it a try. If you fail, you're on your way to growing a green thumb.
There you go. Right. Here's where you can find that
practice.
information. It's melindamyers.com for more, so you can try out that green thumb for yourself. Thanks, Melinda.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Melinda. Great to see you.